I still remember the way the trees swallowed the sky as we drove deeper into the pine barrens. Miles of dirt roads stretched ahead, gravel crunching under the tires, while endless black-green forests closed in around us. It felt like stepping into another world, one where daylight didn't matter, where shadows carried secrets older than memory. We were 4 friends on a weekend escape. Rachel, always curious but cautious. Ben, the skeptic who made jokes when things got tense. Chris, the storyteller who thrived on spooking people. Paid me, just hoping for a quiet night under the stars. We had no idea that night would leave scars none of us could forget. When we found a clearing, it looked perfect, just wide enough for our tents and a fire pit. Rachel said it felt cozy. Ben laughed and said it felt like the beginning of a horror movie. I tried to laugh with him, but the truth was, I felt the same. By nightfall, the fire crackled and hissed, pushing back the dark. Sparks rose like tiny stars as we passed around mugs of cocoa. That's when Chris leaned forward, his face lit orange by the flames, and asked, "So, you all ever heard the story of the Jersey Devil?" The way he said it silenced us. Rachel looked uneasy. Ben smirked, and I felt my stomach tighten. Chris thrived on this sort of moment. "They say it started with Mother Leeds," he began. "Back in the 1700s, she had 12 children already, okay? And when she learned she was pregnant again, she cursed the baby, said it would be the devil himself, eh? And when the child was born, it wasn't human at all. Sprouted wings, grew horns, and let out a scream, so shrill it shattered windows. Then it flew right up the chimney and vanished into the pine barrens, okay? And it's been here ever since." The fire popped. Shadows leaned across the trees like claws. Ben scoffed. "Yeah, sure. Just another Jersey ghost story." Rachel forced a laugh, but I noticed her glance over her shoulder, toward the blackness just beyond the circle of firelight. That was when I heard it. A snap. It's a heavy branch breaking just past the tree line. Too big for a raccoon. Too deliberate for the wind. Chris shrugged, trying to look calm. "Probably a deer." Ben smirked. "Bigfoot. Maybe." But no one laughed this time. Then Rachel froze. "Did you see that?" she whispered. Her voice trembled. I followed her gaze. "Okay." And there, just for a second between the trunks, I saw them. 2 glowing eyes watching us. The woods went silent. No crickets, no owls, nothing. It's just us, holding our breath, panting. A shriek, a sound so loud, so inhuman, it tore through the night. My blood turned to ice. It was half scream, half roar, and all wrong. The fire guttered as if the air had been sucked away. Sparks whirled into the dark. "Pack up," Rachel hissed, panic in her eyes. Up before we could move, something crashed through the trees. Heavy, fast. The ground trembled. Then it was there. I'll never forget what I saw. Tall, gaunt, with leathery wings stretching wider than a man. Cloven hooves digging into the dirt. A long, twisted face with horns curling upward, and those eyes, those burning red eyes that pinned us where we stood. The Jersey Devil. It screeched again, the sound rattling my bones, and lunged. We scattered. I don't remember choosing to run. I just remember my legs carrying me into the dark, branches whipping my face, breath tearing in my throat. "Hi, Mahide," Rachel screamed. Ben shouted her name. Chris yelled for us to keep moving. The thing crashed after us, snapping limbs like twigs. I could hear the beat of its wings, heavy as thunder, swooping through the trees. I tripped over a root, went sprawling, tasted blood. When I looked up, I saw it above, me silhouetted against the moonlight, wings unfurled, shrieking so loud it rattled my teeth. I scrambled, crawling through leaves and mud, until Ben's hand yanked me up. "Move," he shouted, dragging me forward. We ran until our lungs burned. And then, through the trees, Chris shouted, "There." The shack. At first I thought he was delirious, but then I saw it too, a crumbling, abandoned hunting shack, half swallowed by vines. We dove inside, just as a shadow swept overhead. The shack was rotten, its boards full of holes, its air thick with mildew, but it was shelter. We pressed against the walls, gasping, listening. The devil landed outside. Heavy hooves thudded against the earth. Its wings rustled, scraping against the walls. Then came the scratching, the claws dragging across the wood, searching. Rachel sobbed into her hands. Ben clutched a broken chair leg like it was a weapon. Chris muttered prayers under his breath. The devil circled, its screech rattling the loose boards. At one point, its head thrust through a broken window. I'll never forget that face, inches from mine, those burning eyes searching. I froze, too terrified even to breathe. And then, just as suddenly as it had come, it stopped. The scratching faded. The wings beat once, twice, then lifted into the air. Silence. We didn't move. Not for minutes. Maybe hours. It felt like forever before the black outside softened into gray. Dawn, when we finally stepped out of that shack. The forest was still, bathed in pale light. No sign of the creature, except for the deep hoof prints carved into the mud. We stumbled back to camp in silence. Our tents were shredded, our gears scattered. The fire was dead, nothing but ash. None of us spoke on the drive home, not for a long time after. But even now, years later, I can still hear it. It's that shriek echoing in my skull. And sometimes, when the wind moves just right, I swear I hear wings above me in the dark. The Jersey Devil never left, still out there, waiting.